In this lesson, we're going to be exploring a broken time attack and the various different forms that can take. But before we start with that, I'm going to quickly explain the importance of the broken time attack and how you can apply it. So first thing to note is it is very similar to a false attack or a feint in that you are setting a trap. The difference, on the other hand, is that you're never surrendering right of way in the delivery of this action as an attack. Whereas in a false attack, when you make your attack, you lose your right of way in that trap. Same thing with a feint. If you arrive or you get found, you lose right of way. But in a broken time attack, whether you're using it through footwork or you're using it with the extension of your arm, you're always maintaining your right of way. So again, it's kind of like saying a trap, but it's being deceptive. You're always in control, and you're able to finish in that action. So first thing, let's look at how we can apply it with our footwork. Now, if you're talking about broken time, what you want to make it appear is that you are stopping. So in my footwork, if I'm advancing and I stop, this is not a broken time attack. This is just me stopping. That means I've lost right of way. However, if I want to apply broken time in my footwork, I'm going to try to be disruptive, make it look like I'm stopping. So maybe I'm just moving forward with my front foot, and eventually my opponent might think, oh, he stopped somewhere in there, or his back foot hasn't moved forward, so clearly his action is over. He doesn't have right of way. You're going to move forward, they react, and you finish, still preserving your right of way. You can do it with your back foot, you're moving forward, and it appears that you've stopped moving, but you're still progressively advancing. So that's a good example of a broken time using footwork. Equally so, you can use it with your arms. So against Alexandra, if I want to make a lunge, and I know her parry is very good, if I extend my arm and she parries, I'm going to lose right of way. It's quite simple. So if she's got a good parry, if you're standing on guard, I'm going to start my lunge. I'm going to pull my arm all the way back, so when she parries, I can finish in the same line that I started, or I can finish in a different line. But what you're seeing is I'm pulling my arm all the way back. That's where the broken time is. Instead of the arm always extending, like we've learned in our direct attacks, I'm going to start, and I'm going to pull it all the way back. So my target's moving forward, but my point is drifting back. The advantage here is that when they try to parry, your point is so far away that their blade simply misses it, and then you can extend in that vulnerable location that you're trying to hit. We're going to first look at the broken time attack with footwork. Isaac's going to apply it a little bit against me, try to provoke a response, and I'm going to explain why it's effective or why it is ineffective. So we're going to get on guard here, and he's going to start with some disruptive footwork to try and provoke a response from me. So he's moving, and he just finishes. Because I have no reaction, he's able to just completely finish his attack. But remember, the idea here is he's going to be very disruptive and force me to think that he's stopped, so I'm not so much trying to parry, but it's more that I'm going to feel like it's my turn to attack. And that's why he can finish, whether it's a march or a lunge. So he's going to do it again. Alright, so in this case, it's still an effective broken time attack for Isaac. The disadvantage, though, is the distance was still a little off. He got a little close before I started my attack, and that's why his blade went all funny. So we'll do it one more time, and we'll see if we can make it even better. So he's going to be a little bit more disruptive. And this is a lot better. So he does a few steps. It looks like he's stopped, but he's still moving forward. So as soon as I react, he's able to finish his attack. So again, remember, distance is important. You don't want to be disruptive with your footwork to the point in which you're so close that maybe you just walk into an errant parry, or you walk onto their blade before you actually start your own attack. So again, remember, you want to do your broken time attack from a safer distance. So if our blades can touch, you're probably too close already. So you want to adjust that distance by taking a step back. And when you're outside of distance, this is safer. So you can start applying his broken time. And because he knows I'm going to close distance with my attempted attack, that he's going to have to work a lot less in making his land. Alexandra is going to help us explore the broken time attack using the arm as opposed to the footwork. She's going to make a few attempted attacks on me, and I'm going to explain why they were effective or why they were ineffective, and any means that we can use to strengthen them. So we're going to stand on guard here. And what I want you to pay attention to is that regardless of what kind of broken time attack it is, her hit is going to arrive at the same time as her front foot does, whether it's a lunge or an advance. So let's get started with her lunge first. Okay, so in this case you can see she's hitting at the same time that her foot is arriving and that her arm is coming back with that lunge. So my search does not find her blade. I try to parry it, it passes through. Now you are seeing the arm is drifting back a little bit. This is bad for your point control, so if you do a direct disengagement by pulling your arm back, you want to make sure your point stays forward. But if you pull it back and your elbow starts to come out, you're going to see your entire line shift. So it's going to go across your body as opposed to staying in front. So one thing to look at to improve over the future. Now the next one is we're going to see the same broken time attack applied, but this time in an advance instead of a lunge. So she's going to do an advance and pull her arm back. And she's still able to escape my parry and finishes her foot arise. Now you can also do this as simply an advance, like a march, instead of a lunge. So I'm going to do it this time, and she's going to try and catch me. So I'm going to do advance. And what you're seeing is I'm doing a full step forward. Here's my first. And there's my attack right there. So I'm pulling my arm back. This just requires the distance to be a lot closer. It's a lot more risky. So it's a lot safer if we do the lunge again. To do a lunge because the distance is greater, so start your lunge. And then you pull your arm back. That way I can't find you. It's